Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana. Today we're going to talk about two players that are probably overachieving as much as anybody in the NBA right now, whether you're just an NBA fan, whether you're an NBA card collector, whether you're an NBA fantasy basketball fanatic. These two guys, by anybody's standards, are drastically outperforming what their expectations were before the 2022 season began. I'm talking about Lauri Markkanen and I'm talking about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So let me switch you over. We're going to take a look at what they've done this year on the court, and then we're going to take a look at their cards and Cardladder, and I think some of the results are going to be very surprising. First, let's look at Markkanen. I've got him pulled up. We know he went nuts in the Eurobasket, right? If anybody was paying any attention to that, whether you were watching the games or not on your computer, everybody should have heard that he was going bonkers over there and was one of the best players in the entire Eurobasket tournament, along with Luka, of course. I think Franz Wagner also went bonkers over there. But Lauri Markkanen, that is where his hot streak started. He didn't have a bad season last year with the Cleveland Cavaliers, but in 14 games this season, as you can see on your screen, 22.3 points, 8.5 rebounds, 2.4 assists. His splits are 53, 34, and 88 with a almost 60% effective field goal percentage. His PER is 22.5. His career is only 15.8. So he was only slightly better than the average NBA player from a PER perspective heading into this season. We knew his FGAs were going to go up. We knew his usage was going to go up. We knew he was going to have a green light. We didn't really know how he would fit amongst the big three, whether it's Clarkson, Sexton, or Markkanen, who was going to get all those shots. But Markkanen took the mantle and has run with it. I mean, he's clear-cut the face of that team. Again, Clarkson and Sexton are there. We're waiting on Sexton to figure out what's up with him because he's a little bit inconsistent thus far. But Markkanen's been nails start to finish. And trust me, I know because he's on my fantasy team. His win shares are 1.9 if you're one of those win share guys. But the finish, his nickname is the finisher, Lauri Legend and Lauri Bird, right? So two nicknames hinge on his similarities to Lauri Bird, being that he is a white person. That's about where the similarities start and finish. But pretty cool nickname, Lauri Legend. I like that one. So let's take a look at his cards. That's what we're here to talk about today. We've got, yes, his base Prizm. I used the bad word, the words that nobody wants to talk about. Base Prizm PSA 10. Oh my gosh, are we really going to look at this? Why are we looking at this? Well, again, I own none, but I wanted to share this with you guys because some of you guys probably got caught holding the bag with some base Prizm PSA 10s, whether it's 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. If you got stuck with all those base Prizm PSA 10s thinking there was going to be an exit point, it just got darker and darker and darker for most players, and it's continuing to get worse for many players. But Markkanen is the exception to the rule. As you can see, let's look at the last 2 years. So this is what we're talking about, right? At one point, these cards were steadily selling for the 122, 140 range, something like that. You're not going to believe this. This card got all the way down to $6.02. Did you hear what I just said? PSA is $15 to grade a card. A Lauri Markkanen base Prizm PSA 10 once sold for $6.02. Let's look at the last 3 months, right? Leading into the NBA season, when he got traded, it was a little bit of a run up, as you can see. And then once the season started, he just kicked it into high gear. So this is his base Prizm PSA 10. It's a pop 1,095 card. Again, it got all the way to $6.02, $7.50. Then it spiked to $12.75. Yes, I'm joking. Most recently, the cards sold for 44, 47, 40, 26. One of them slipped through the cracks. 43.5 and then $51. So again, we're not talking about a crazy amount of money. If you bought it $6 and sold it $45, congratulations. After taxes and after eBay and all the crap and the shipping, you probably made $25, $30, whatever. That's great. But what if you did it 10 times? That's $300. I mean, that's real money, and that matters. And so it's good to see at least a little glimmer of hope for a base Prizm PSA 10 card out there in the ultra-modern era. So that's some good news for Lauri Markkanen collectors there. What about his silver? This is where you can make a little bit bigger, dollar aggregate changes. Maybe not percentage-wise, but even percentage-wise. His base is up over the last 3 months, 200%. His silver PSA 10 is up 183%. And remember, 2016 2017 was kind of that in-between year. 2016 was actually a really low pop for silver PSA 10 rookie cards. And 2018 is really high pop for silver PSA 10 rookie cards. 2017 is kind of that hybrid, conduit year. But 152 is the pop on the Lauri Markkanen PSA 10 silvers. Over the last 3 months, that card's up 183%. And that is with the last two sales going drastically down. Someone panicked a little bit and probably hit the buy it now button here on November 6th. Let's see. November 6th. Where is it? There it is. Yeah. So somebody paid $270 on a fixed buy it now. That was probably a little bit of a reach. But as you can see, the last few sales, 130, 140, 143, 152. So pretty good sales. I mean, that's meaningful money. That's $100 a pop. If you're selling the card and you bought it, in September, mid-September, the card was $50. Here we are, exactly 2 months later, and it's a steady 140. Somewhere between 140, 150, something like that. I haven't looked at eBay to see what's available, but you get the drift. It's about a $100 bump. That's pretty impressive. So marketing cards are on the uptick. It's bucking the trend of ultramodern base and silver Prizm cards going down, and it's due squarely on his performance. He has got to be, along with the guy we're about to talk about, SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he has got to be right at the top of the list of most improved players in the league this year. I guess Desmond Bane's playing real. There's a long list of guys that are really performing well this year, but I'd say Lauri Markkanen because of team performance, and SGA as well, just because of his overwhelming statistical performance. He's the number one ranked fantasy player out there right now in a true Roto 8-cat league. Both of those guys got to be at the top of the list of most improved. So let's talk about him. Another all-rookie player. Lauri Markkanen made all-rookie team his rookie year for the Chicago Bulls, and then just kind of got run out of town by the not-so-great Tom Thibodeau. And then SGA here, he has a nickname. It's SGA, thank God, because it's really hard to say. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and you don't know if it's Shai, if it's Shai. His actual name is Shaivante Aisian Gilgeous-Alexander. That sounds extremely French. He is from Toronto, Canada. Went to UK, obviously, had a really good year there at UK. But look at his numbers this year and look at the disparity between his career numbers and this year. It's nuts. He's scoring 30.5. If you're averaging over 30 points a game over an 11-game stretch, you can do things. You are special. One of the league's foremost drivers of the basketball to the rim. His three-point shot has waned in the last couple seasons, as you can see right here. Where is he? Let's see, his rookie year, he shot 37 almost, then 35, and then he had a really explosive 41.8% season here in 2020 over only a 35-game stretch, and then he dipped all the way to 30 and then to 33, so you're wondering, has he lost it? Is this the next De'Aaron Fox? Can he just not shoot it? And speaking of most improved, De'Aaron Fox is in that conversation as well. But this year he has flipped the script, and as you can see, he's shooting 33.3%, a serviceable number, but he's reduced the number of attempts. And what's most impressive is his field goal percentage from the floor, generally speaking, and his effective field goal percentage is almost 56%, pretty close to Lauri Markkanen's, and that's pretty impressive for a point guard. He's an elite defensive point guard, but 54%, 33 from the three, and 94% from the free throw line, just behind the league leader, who I think today is actually Trey Murphy, believe it or not, from the New Orleans Pelicans. But 30.5, 4.4, and 5.5 with a 28.4 PER. That's a huge number for fifth-year Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's only 24 years old, just a baby. And again, he's on a team of misfits. I shouldn't say misfits, just guys that they're figuring out who's going to stick, who's not, right? Who are we going to build around? Who are we going to let go? Who are we going to trade? What are we going to do? I got to believe OKC does something at some point during this season to make room, preferably for Victor Wembanyama. But if Shai keeps playing like this, they're going to win too many games, and they're not going to have a shot at him. But let's look at his cards. His base card, of course, one thing to note about the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander base silver, all of his parallels, is they forgot to put the rookie shield on there. It was a mistake, and I'm trying to remember who they put the rookie shield on. For the life of me, I can't remember. They accidentally put the shield on one player's card, and they did not put it on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's card. So it is his rookie card, but it is missing the rookie shield that you traditionally see on rookie cards in the Prizm product. So here's his base card over the last 3 months. It's obviously going to be really ugly over the last 2 years. I mean, really ugly, right? It's actually worse than the 80% drop that you see because that was the starting point. It was actually more like from 307 all the way down. But let's look at the last 6 months. Okay, so 6 months are okay. People started to buy into SGA during the summer. Let's see. What about the last 3 months? Up 17%. Again, it's not crazy, but it did get all the way down to 25 bucks, but that might be an anomaly. 35, 40 bucks, something like that. Most recently selling for 48, 51, 50, something like that. So we're looking at about a $50 card for his base. Now here's the difference, right? We looked at the Lauri Markkanen. Remember, 2017, he's a pop 1,000 for his base Prizm PSA 10. SGA is a pop 3,833, almost 4 times the pop. So that has a lot to do with the lack of growth percentage-wise that we see for this base Prizm card over the last 3 months. What about the last month? What about the last 2 weeks? What about the last month? Let's look at the last month. Up 25%. So, meaningful money, I guess. You'd need a whole lot of these to get in and out for it to really make any sense after taxes and after eBay and after shipping and after bubble mailers and after cardboard and team bags and all that crap that goes into it, right? Because all those are costs, right? Shipping and all that stuff. But what about his silver? Now, his silver is notorious, I shouldn't say notorious, famous for having some type of print defect that made it much more difficult to gem than the rest of the rookies from his class. Remember, this is a 2018 Prizm silver card. So this is Trae Young. This is Luka Doncic. This is the year where, the population truly exploded. And so with those guys, you're looking at over 2,000 silver PSA 10s. With Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, you're only looking at 528. That's not a lot. That's half as many as the Lauri Markkanen base Prizm PSA 10s. So 528 is a manageable population. I don't know how many more are being added. Let's see, from 440 over the last 8 months, it's up about 80. I got to believe that's going to start to plateau at some point. I don't ever see it getting to 1,000 or anything like that. But over the last 1 month, this card's up 23% from 324 to most recently 399, 402, 370. So probably you're looking at a $375 to $400 card. That's a pretty nice size card, pretty good card. If you're in at 320, that's about $80 to work with on your margin. If you bought 4 or 5 of them, you can make real money. Again, this silver is a little bit different than most. That's it on your screen. Again, it's missing the rookie shield. With these cards, you're specifically looking for the, you want to make sure centering on the right and left, there's an equal amount of space between that last row, that third row of dots and the edge. And then at the top, you want to make sure there's not too much space at the top. And it should be about the same as the black strip down here at the bottom. I mean, the space between that top line and the top. So that's what you're looking at from a centering standpoint. On these, it's much, much easier because you can just look left, right. Everything should match up on this. I mean, it's just really easy to gauge centering on 2017. But here you go. That's it. That's what we got for the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Lauri Markkanen market. 2 guys that are hot as a firecracker right now. I probably could have looked at De'Aaron Fox too, but I just want to make this a quick little 15-minute video. I like both these guys. I don't own any of their cards that I know of. I don't think I own any cards of either player. And if I did, it probably wouldn't be their base or their silver. But the reason I made this video is because I feel like maybe a lot of you guys watching this channel may have gotten trapped into here. Like I got trapped into a bunch of John Morant base Prizm PSA 10s. I'm trapped in a lot of Jaylen Brown base Prizm, base Select, base Optic PSA 10s. De'Aaron Fox, Ben Simmons. I'm trapped into a lot of those guys. It just, when they hit the wall just kept getting closer and closer and their prices kept going down and down. And then it got to a point of no return where I was like, well, hell, I may as well just ride this out now and hope for the best. And maybe that was a mistake, and maybe it's still a mistake. I have decided to start moving some Jaylen Brown because he's playing really well as well. So, man, I wish I'd have gotten out of these cards about 18 months ago. I'm sure a lot of you guys can say the same thing. But that's it today, guys. Just Lauri Markkanen, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 2 great basketball players, both taking huge steps forward, just 1 year apart in their rookie class. Both of their teams doing much better than most probably expected, especially with Chet Holmgren being out. I think a lot of people were excited to watch them with Chet, and then people kind of waned on their interest in OKC without Chet. But Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is giving everybody a reason to watch them. And Josh Giddey's no slouch either, playing next to SGA, even though it's a little bit of a strange fit, those 2 guys together. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you've got any Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or, any Lauri Markkanen cards. I actually saw a post on Instagram today. It's November 13th, Sunday. And I saw a post on Instagram today. One guy has the SGA Black Prizm 1 of 1. I think it was a BGS 9. And then he also has the Nebula 1 of 1. Both 1 of 1s, probably the 2 biggest Prizm 1 of 1 cards cards for SGA from his rookie year, owned by one person. Two really big cards. Those are not base and silver. Those are big boy cards. And so I thought that was pretty interesting. And you're starting to see some people post their Lauri Markkanen collection. One guy's got a fascinating Lauri Markkanen collection out there with some really high-end RPA stuff and things like that. So go check it out on Instagram if you haven't. If you're watching the channel and you collect cards and you're not on Instagram, you're making a mistake. That is the one small piece of advice I'll give you. Get on Instagram. It's a great way to share not only your collection, but learn more about other people's collections and learn more about what's going on in the hobby in general. That's how I kind of keep my finger on the pulse of the hobby, along with a few content creators out there that I like to watch as well. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Keep collecting. Stay positive in the hobby. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't. It really helps me. If you're watching, you may as well hit the subscribe button. No harm done. I appreciate the interest. I appreciate the consideration. Keep collecting. Stay positive in the hobby. Peace.